Good morning, you guys. It is day number 27 of my Stay Batical to 50. This is my 100-day journey, attempting to change my body composition, mindset, and really anything else that happens in the midst of this. I try to come on live in the mornings when I do my walk. And so usually it's around sunup. Like when I started this, the sun was coming up about 6:45 in the morning. And so I'd go out about that time. And now that it's 27 days later, the sun doesn't get up until about 7:15. So by the time we get, because the fall back, the daylight savings time, that doesn't shift until like early November. So it's going to keep getting progressively later in the morning the longer I do this. So I think by the time the time change comes in early November, something like November 9th or 10th, I don't remember the exact date, but it's a little while from now. And so it could be 8 o'clock in the morning before I get out here on some mornings here in the coming weeks as this sunrise gets a little bit later. Now, at that point, I'll probably make a decision to walk later in the day rather than like trying to play the game with the sun. Plus, it'll be considerably cooler. It's cool in the mornings, but it's supposed to be like upper 80s again this afternoon. Yeah, that's no fun to walk in. I did upper 70s yesterday with you guys, and that was a lot. But we're back here yet again, day 27. Still trucking, still doing well, still loving every minute of this Stay Batical to 50. I took some pictures and compared to day one. And guys, like, this is working. This is really, really working. And it's noticeable. I feel it. Some people have said they've watched me on my podcasts, and you can tell in the face that I've lost weight. I'm not really paying attention much to the face as I am the stomach area, because that's where the bulk of all the weight on my body is. You look at my legs and my arms, they're pretty devoid of fat. Now you get into the upper part of my legs, into my hips, my butt, my belly, and that's where all the weight is. So it's going to be a long, slow process, but we're at it. We're doing it. We're doing all the things. So guys, today I wanted to bring up a topic. And by the way, feel free to chime in. You got comments, questions. That's how we do this thing. Yesterday I did kind of an impromptu Instagram live, and I just had it as an open chat. And nobody was chatting. I'm like, where are my peoples that love to talk? So I had to talk just about the whole time. So don't make me talk the whole time. Go ahead and write down some comments down there, questions, really anything you want to say. And I'll get to you guys in a minute. But I wanted to bring up a topic here about motivation. Because a lot of people say, well, I would pursue something like what you're doing, Jimmy, if I just had the motivation. And when I hear that, I hear someone who's never going to do it. And I'm going to be blunt with you guys. I'm always very blunt, very honest. If you need external motivation to get you to do something that will make you better, think about that for a moment. Think about what you're saying, that you don't have it within yourself to work up the gumption to do something that will help you. If we think about it and we go ahead in our minds, how do you get stronger? How mentally, physically, all the ways? How do you ever progress if you don't push yourself? Now, I know some of you guys are real go-getters. I know some of you personally, and I know you do push yourself and you do motivate yourself. But I feel like there's a lot of people out there that they're just waiting on some magical person or thing to be their motivation. This kind of gets to what is your why, which I've talked about before. And so when you have a strong why, you have something that really pushes you, then you're highly motivated. But it's nobody else's business to motivate you. You're the person that needs to motivate you. And the moment you feel like motivation is what it takes to get you up and running on whatever goal you're doing, this is not just about health and weight loss, but anything. You don't need motivation. Your motivation's right here. Do you have the heart? Do you have the want to? And I really hate that word willpower. Oh, you had such willpower. No, I had want power. I had I'm gonna prove everybody wrong power. I had all the ways within myself to be my own motivation. And so, sorry, there was a car coming, I have to watch. and so you have to be your own motivation. That's what I'm saying here. And the moment that we feel like we need that external is the moment we will fail before we start. You guys feel me? Like, think about that a little deeper. When you get motivated by someone else, and a lot of you guys said that I have been a motivation to you to start walking. Got a bunch of you guys walking with me now, so that's cool. Or some other thing now that you weren't doing before. That's cool. And I think what happens in a lot of times is you see someone else, you see how they are like you, and then you kind of convince yourself that you need to do something. Maybe I was the spark, but you were your own motivation. Other people are like, well, yeah, they need to make me go. They need to guide me. They need to hold my hand. They can't quit because if they quit, then I quit. That's what I'm talking about here today. Because I feel like we get so caught up in motivation culture that we forget all the motivation you ever need is deep within yourself. So that's what I wanted to share today, guys. Nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else should motivate you. That's your job and your job alone. And one of the ways you can build that motivation is to figure out why you're doing what you're doing. That's a good one. Because if you have a focus on why you're doing what you're doing, it'll make you succeed. You also need a path to get there. And if you have a path, rather than just meandering and doing whatever in the day-to-day, have a plan. You guys know on this sabbatical to 50, I've had a very specific plan. Have not been perfect with it every day, but I'm on the plan. The plan is the goal. It's the roadmap. I'm trying to reach goals of body composition change, mindset change, and I can't get there unless I use the map. And the map is what's getting me one step closer to ultimately what I want. And while this is a 100-day journey in its challenge, it's not going to be a 100-day journey. This is something I'll do for a little while. Especially if I continue to see the results that I'm desiring. And I am. Ever so slowly, but I am. It would be next to impossible to be motivated to continue to do this day after day after day if I was seeing nothing change. And this is the hard part for people. They want motivation to come from within, but then if they don't get validation for the motivation, then they give up. Well, I'm doing all this work and nothing's happening. People do that all the time to me in an email or a DM. I've done keto for 2 weeks and I've only lost 2 pounds. I should have lost a hell of a lot more by now. It just isn't working. And you ask them all the obvious questions of, do you feel better? Yeah. Is your blood sugar okay? Yeah. Are you more energetic? Yeah. I'm sorry, tell me how that's not working again? Really? And it's so hard when you're up close to it to see the changes that are happening. It's so hard. Look, I look at this body day after day after day, putting it through all these things I'm doing. And yes, I'm taking the pictures of myself so I can see the differences. And I did compare a picture from this morning, from the very first morning 27 days ago. And guys, it's stark. It's stark. But I could feel it. I don't necessarily need the picture to tell me that change has happened. I can feel it. I can see it in the mirror. But looking at it side by side with that day one photo, oh my gosh, it is so stark. And I haven't even started the strength training aspect of this yet. I will be getting out there and flipping the tire. This week, I will flip the tire. Still trying to figure out when I'm going to do that, because it's supposed to be warm in the afternoons all week long. And my podcast recording schedule is usually midday, which would be a good time to get out there. So I don't know when I'm going to do it. I don't want to do it in 88 degree weather. It's already hard enough without the heat. But I'm not going to make that my excuse to not do it. I will definitely get it in and show you guys on camera when the time comes. Good morning. So, motivate yourself. Stop looking for people to do that for you, looking for the external validation. None of that's going to serve you well. Good morning. All right, so let's see what you guys have to say. Again, if you joined us late, we are in day number 27 of my 100-day Stay-Batical 250. This is my attempt not to lose weight. I don't care. Weight loss is for losers. Sorry, those of you that pay attention to weight loss. But it's literally for losers, because if you're losing weight, you're a loser. Get it? Oh, sorry. See, my brain doesn't always work very well early in the morning. But yes, I'm not doing it about the weight loss. I'm doing it for body composition change, which is happening. Mindset change, which I've had a pretty good mindset going through all the stuff I did the last couple of years. So that's good. And then to just observe what's happening. So I'm observing. And so far I like the things that I'm seeing. Never fast enough. Let's be honest with each other. It's never as fast as you want it to be. You want the change and you want it yesterday, right? That's how we all are. It's human nature, especially when you put in an effort and you've motivated yourself to put in X amount of effort. You expect that same result of the effort to come on just as strong, and it doesn't always. So don't let that discourage you or demotivate you. You are doing well. Just embrace that. All right, let's see what you guys have here today. Good morning, Ashton. Bevy Girl says, we fall back an hour, so wouldn't it be lighter in the morning? It would be 6:15 now. No, what I'm telling you, sweetie, is it doesn't fall back until early November. So it's late September. And so we got another 6 weeks of this. So yes, it would be 8 o'clock by the time that Time Change Sunday comes. It's not going to be here for a while. If it was here tomorrow, you would be exactly correct. But it won't be here tomorrow. It'll be here 6 weeks from now. So it's 7:15 when the sun comes up now. By the time we get to Time Change Sunday, it's going to be 8, maybe even 8:15, 8:30 before the sun is up. So that's what I was referring to. And then, of course, when we fall back, it'll go back an hour from whatever that is. So if it's 8 o'clock, it'll go back to 7. That makes sense now, Bevy Girl? But thank you for trying to correct me, but you're wrong. Sorry. Linda says, I love to listen. Talking, not so much. You don't have to talk. It does help me, though, if you guys are responding to things I'm saying, so I can keep the conversation rolling. I can always talk, but it's much more fun when I see what's on your mind and then get to respond to that. Dale wants to know how the bruise is going on my left leg. So, have you figured it out? No. All I do know is it's not a blood clot. So those of you that don't know what Dale's talking about, just under a week ago, I noticed on my left calf that I have a humongous bruise. I mean, it fills up the whole calf just about. And I'm like, what in the world? I didn't remember injuring it. I didn't remember anything about it. Here, I'll show you what it looks like now. It's getting much lighter now. So it's a lot better now than it was. And so I go to the ER, and the doctor, the nurse practitioner, basically said, I don't know what it is. I told him about the fall I had a couple weeks ago, and could that be it? Maybe it's just a delayed bruise. He didn't know. He said, well, we need to rule out blood clot, so go get this ultrasound of your leg to make sure you don't have a blood clot. Thankfully, I don't. It cost me $600 to get that answer, but thankfully I don't. So the update is the bruise is getting lighter. And I'm thinking it was from the fall when I fell on that Saturday 2-3 weeks ago, whatever it was. I think there was some internal bruising that then it just was a delayed manifest, a really deep bruise. So seems to be on the mend. It's never once hurt me. It is tender to the touch, so when I do touch it, it is a little painful. I noticed it in the bed last night when I was rolling over. I could feel that leg when my knee hit it. I was like, all right, it's still tender, but seems to be doing a lot better. Thank you for asking, Dale. Brittany says, motivation is bullshit. Dedication is where it's at. Yeah, like that dedication speaks to the consistency I'm always talking about. If you're consistent, that is your motivation. When you're consistent, when you're doing all the things that you know you need to do to get to your end goal, that's the motivation. You've got that plan worked out. You execute the plan and you do it daily. For those of you that don't know, Brittany is my friend. She has been doing 75 hard, and she's on like day 72 or 3. I forget exactly what day, Brittany, but she has done this consistent plan day after day after day for the past 70-something days with the purpose of changing her body and all the reasons why she's doing it. And so, yeah, she's right. That consistency, that dedication to what you need to do, that's what motivates you. For me, it's this walk every day. It's all the other things that I do. And like I said, I haven't done them all perfectly every single time, but it's not even about that. I can't imagine waking up in a morning and feeling great, or feeling even somewhat great, and not doing all these things that I do in my protocol. The only thing that'll stop me is if I'm out of town, like I was for that biohacking conference recently, and even then I did a lot of things at that event, or as what happened early on in this sabbatical, my whole body couldn't move. I had a couple of days there where I was just like, woke up and I'm like, why can't I feel my body right now? It was just so tired, so sore. I'm beyond that, by the way. I've been pushing myself harder lately. I did 2 walks yesterday, just trying to push the envelope a little bit, seeing the threshold of where I'm at now. And having this mentality of waking up, and I got work to do. I've got to be dedicated to the things that I've committed myself to. I got eyeballs watching me. So many of you watch this live on Instagram Live, or you watch it on the replay, IGTV, YouTube, Facebook. I'm putting it everywhere by design. I want you not to scrutinize me, but to say, okay, how you doing with that? The check-in factor. And that dedication has to come because you guys are expecting it. It's one reason I've been so public about this journey. It'd be very easy to just go hide. Okay, I'm gonna go on this sabbatical for the next 100 days. See y'all later. And not tell you anything about it. Would I have any consistency? Maybe. Would I be dedicated? Again, maybe. But would I have near the extra something, as I say, to really do this? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. But that is one of the fun parts of my platform is I got a lot of eyeballs. And I know you guys aren't going to let me fail or mess up. So you guys are the cornerstone of my plan. You're not my motivation, but you are my accountability. And I appreciate you all for that. Thank you, Brittany. Consistency is the answer for me, says Bevy Girl. Yeah. Always is. And look, I think it's very easy to get into a bad habit or a good habit. And you fall into either one of them with that consistency. I've been at this for now 27 days. I kind of feel like this daily walk is a habit now. I feel like a lot of the things I've been doing is a habit. So that's good. We're getting there for myself. Val says, good morning. Way to go, gym workout done. Boom. See, Val, you would be the first to say that consistency is what motivates you more than anything. Because you're doing it. And good for you. That's awesome. Carolyn said, I brought my husband with me today on the walk. Hi, Carolyn's husband. It's very noisy on my trail. I hope it's not near as noisy where you guys get to walk. This is a main thoroughfare to the main part of the town. And so cars just flying by on the way to work, taking kids to school, all that stuff. It's the only thing I hate about this path, this little trail that I take, is it's just so noisy when you get out on this part of the trail. But you do what you got to do. Brittany says, exploit your why, take full advantage of it, dig deep, make it happen, even when you don't feel motivated. Ooh, yeah. And again, you know, Brittany, and I know because I know you behind the scenes, but there are days where you don't feel it. There are days when you're like, how am I going to get it all done? How am I going to be consistent? And almost everybody that I talk to that is committed to a journey of some sort, almost all of them will tell you they don't always feel it. They don't always want to do it. In fact, I would say many times they loathe it. They'd rather be sitting on the couch, eating some food and watching some TV. But what do? They get out there and do it. In fact, Keto Savage, Robert Sykes, recently did a story, and he said as much. He said, look, I've had a long day at work. I'm tired. I don't feel great. I just want to go home and kick off my shoes and snuggle up with my honey and just chill. But he said, you know what? And he pulls off his shirt. I'm going out for my run because I'm committed to that. Now, you want to talk about somebody that has motivated himself with his goals? Let your goals motivate you. Let your goals be the reason why you're doing it. That's all you need. But yes, exploit that why. What is it that's driving you? Because that why is what will keep you going when you don't quite feel it in a day. All right, guys, I'm at a real precarious intersection again. So let me keep an eye on everything happening. There's somebody turning. Okay. Whew. That's the worst intersection. Look at all those cars coming up. I don't want to get run over. Famous keto diet author dies of a car accident trying to improve his body. No, that would not be a great headline. And to watch it live on Instagram, that would really not be great. Angie says, I like to use commitment above motivation. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, dedication, commitment, focus on your goals, focus on your why. I do it because I said I would. Oh, so your word is your bond. That's the way we used to do things. Your word is your bond. I don't know if that's as true anymore collectively as a society. Individually, yes. For a lot of us, our word is our bond. And so that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. My why is my health and maintaining a positive mental attitude. That always works. Good job. Good job. Ashton says, my reason is to be the best version of myself, to be the healthiest I can be in my remaining years. Well, hopefully that's many remaining years, Ashton. I think that's what we're all aiming for, is not just existing for many years to come, but thriving for many years to come. I'm turning 50 in December, and I want to live another 50 years at least. I do. And not just as existing, but actually living, thriving. Yeah, I'm going to be like a 90-year-old podcaster. Yeah, welcome back to the Live on the Meal Low Carb Show with Jimmy Moore, episode 10,947. That would be a trip. Yeah, remember all that shit I said 20 years ago? It still applies. Yes, I'm having fun on this Monday morning. But that's awesome, Ashton. Keep it up. Bevy Girl says, a lifetime journey to stay healthy. High point is nutrition. Oh, the baseline of whatever you're doing is always going to be nutrition. You can't out-exercise a bad diet. And I would say you can't expect your diet to do everything. There's people on both ends of that. People that ignore nutrition and do all these other things. And then you got people who pay attention to nutrition but don't do anything else. I think the happy medium is between those two. You need to mix nutrition with appropriate other things. So de-stressing, movement, exercise, other kind of biohacks and things to kind of get the ball rolling. All right, guys, I'm at Lena Lane. Gonna make the turn. And back we go. I am loving this path. And this time of day, the sun's coming up. By the time I get up there a little bit, you'll see it just blast my face, which I love that too, because you get that sunlight in the eye early in the day. And that helps set your circadian rhythm. The angle of the sun, your brain knows when the light goes into your eyes that this is morning time. Starts pumping out hormones that keeps you awake and makes you alert and energetic. And then late in the day, if you look at the sun as it's going down, the opposite happens. It's like, oh, sun's at that angle, we're going to sleep soon. So it starts to turn on melatonin and other things to help you sleep. So yet another reason to be doing this walk at this time of day. Brittany says, intrinsic motivation comes from your own thoughts, actions, desires, and aspirations. Yes. Look, nobody knows your situation better than you. You're the owner of all that. And if you own that and you live in that reality of who you are. I hear a dog barking, so it's got me on alert a little bit. Making sure he's locked up. Looks like he's on a leash. But when you do your own motivation and you know all these things that are happening, it's all the more gratifying. It's the people who don't know your situation who then you look to give you said motivation. Well, they don't know all the things happening in your life. Look, these past 2 years, I have been inundated with people saying, Jimmy, you need to lose weight. Jimmy, you're not a representation of keto very well, blah, blah. Jimmy, get your act together. And they just didn't understand what I was going through. And believe me when I say it was horrific what I was going through. And I'm not just talking about the pandemic. Everybody's gone through that. That just added on top of all the everything else. And so, without knowing my situation, they attempted to judge me and motivate me with negative thoughts of, oh, you're not a good representation, blah, blah, blah. Well, that wasn't going to happen. That's not the way to do it. Here comes the sunlight in my face. It wasn't until I knew I was ready that I embarked on this journey. And I'm glad I have. And 27 days in, I'm still motivating myself. I'm still the reason why this is happening. Not anybody else. Me. Hang on, guys. I'm in that big intersection. Oh, the eyeballs they give you when you're trying to cross the road as a walker. Whew. A little side eye of like, get the fuck out. Like, hey, I have a right to be on this road as much as you do. But nobody else can motivate you because you know you better than anyone else. Thank you, Brittany. Or as she likes to say, when it's hard, you push harder. Yeah, that's a new concept for a lot of people, Brittany. People, when it gets hard, they want to quit. They want to make excuses. They want to whine and complain. Maybe for a moment. But then you go, okay, this is trying to demotivate me. I'm the one that controls the motivation in my life. Let me push harder. Now, sometimes you can push a little too hard. But that's rare. Most people don't push hard enough. Listen to your body. Honor what it's telling you. Doesn't usually lead you astray. Whew. I was talking about the time change in November, so I was right. Hopefully you will still continue to walk in November. Sweetie, you're still not getting it. Hear me clearly. Right now, the sun comes up at 7:15. It's not going to be coming up at 7:15 by November, okay? I know you like to call me out publicly on my social media pages. I ain't gonna let you pull it here, okay? If you don't like what I'm sharing, you do not have to be a part of my life, okay? I'm saying this bluntly and clearly to you because you do this shit and you've done this shit for years. Stop. By the time early November gets here, it's going to be 8:15 when the sun comes up. If you know anything about the way the seasons change, you would know that. So that when the time change comes, it would be an hour prior to that. So if it's 8:15, it'll be back to 7:15. So don't correct me on my live. I will call your bitch ass out, and I'm not gonna put up with it anymore. And I apologize to everyone else watching, but this lady here is always coming on my Instagram and Facebook pages saying snarky little things like this. And I'm tired of it, okay? Thank you, by the way. You got me worked up, so I got adrenaline flowing through my body. I'm walking faster now, bitch. See, guys, that's the kind of shit I put up with daily. And it's fun to do it live. Because most of the time I just dismiss it, block, delete, ignore the haters. And I don't know that Baby Girl's necessarily a hater. She just doesn't know how to talk to human beings. Maybe you can get better at that, Baby Girl. All right, I'm moving on. Mistacious. Sometimes I come up with excuses and whine like other people. Have it so much easier. Yes, we do that to ourselves. I don't see them suffering like me, so why do I have to endure this? Yeah, that's a thing. That's a real thing. Everybody's journey is different. I can't use that as an excuse. Man, we love that comparison game. We see other people maybe doing a similar journey, sometimes a different one, but we see people all the time doing better than us, perception-wise, doing better than us. Usually the better means they've lost more weight, stuff like that. And that's their journey. That's not your journey. When you stick to your journey and do all the things, that's all that matters. Like my friend Brittany's on her journey right now, and I'm on my journey right now. We're not comparing notes as to who's done better. I cheer her on, she's cheering me on. That's how it works. But you're right, a lot of us do that to ourselves. We see other people supposedly succeeding more than us, and then you feel bad about your own journey. Maybe you're doing great in your journey, and maybe this other person's seeing more results. That doesn't mean you're not doing great in your journey. It just means their journey is where it is, and your journey is where yours is. And there's so many factors at play. Where you are in your metabolic health, if it's a health journey, where you are in your fitness level, where you started from, how old you are. Those things can all play a role in how well you do or don't do on your own journey. So comparing it to someone else who is not you is kind of fool's gold. If you're one of those people that does that, stop doing that. And you know who's the worst at it? Is like couples that go on like a diet and health journey together, and the man and the woman start at the exact same time. The man eats tons of steak, feels good, chilling out, and then you're, as the woman, eating all the right macros for yourself, working out, doing all these things. He's lost 20 pounds in 3 weeks. You've lost 2. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me that's not what happens for a lot. But look, he's a man. His muscle helps him burn the fat better. You're a woman, but you happen to start this right when you were beginning your period. What do you expect, right? That's some of the differences. And so never compare yourself to other people. CW makeup, I love that. It's very easy to get into a bad habit or a good habit. Yeah, think about it. 21 days to form a new habit. 21 days, that's all it takes. And so if you do 21 days of consistency, good morning, ladies. 21 days of consistency, then you're probably going to do whatever you were consistent at. For me, it's this walk. Other people, it's lifting weights. Other people, it's getting to bed at a certain time, whatever. 21 days, you can create that good habit. But look at this. What if you did nothing for 21 days? What if every night you plopped on the couch and you never got up? And then you stayed up and watched TV till 11 o'clock. Every night for 21 days. Guess what you just did? You just solidified the habit of staying up late, watching TV, doing nothing, and going to bed at 11. See how powerful that is? So think about those things in your life that you always do every day like clockwork. Every day. And when you do those things, don't be surprised when it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that you keep doing those things because you've created the habit. Good or bad? Good or bad? Linda says, doing my inside my house laps, my goal is to walk the whole time that you do. Oh, you're going to hate me one day, Linda, because I got to thinking recently, what would happen if I pushed this walk to 2 hours? I would warn you first. But normally, I try to do about an hour, sometimes a little more than an hour, but I will warn you before I do a 2 hour. I need to get a little more fit before I walk for 2 hours. But this trail does go a long way. I would love to show you all the way to the end of it. I think I told you the first time I ever walked this, I thought it did a loop around the neighborhood and went back to my house. It goes all the way to the end and ends at a cul-de-sac, and it just drops off, and that's it. And there's woods behind that. I'm like, where's the beginning? And this guy says, you got to turn back around. I'm like, and I'm like, So that was fun. Berkeley says, accountability is crucial. Humans have an infinite capacity for self-deception. Too easy to make excuses without it. Yes. Accountability. That's what you guys are here to me on a daily basis. I can't talk about seeking to change my body if I'm not showing you that I'm putting in the effort to change my body. And I've been called a lot of things over the years. Lazy, undisciplined, incapable. You name the descriptor in a negative way, I've heard it. And yeah, I got to be accountable, and I'm happy to be accountable. You've got to humble yourself to make yourself accountable. Because if you're like, I don't need accountability, you're kind of being arrogant. You're kind of being self-centered and not really putting your best interests in mind. And especially when you've got a group of people that want to see you succeed. I can tell you, when I posted my previous before and after pictures on social media, I got so many people making comments, liking the posts, writing to me in DMs, encouraging me to keep going. And every one of those likes, comments, messages were accountability for me. It's like, all right, you're putting in the work, people are noticing, keep going. You know, keep doing it. They notice what's happening. They want to see that in you. And quite frankly, maybe you're giving them a little inkling within them that they could try something for themselves. So it's one reason I like to do what I'm doing right now, is if I can be the spark that lights that motivation within you, then I feel like I've done my job to help you, all the while you as accountability partners are helping me stay on the straight and narrow with this. I see you doing it, says Ashton. Thank you. Berkeley says, to not take control of our health is a slow suicide. Oh, that's true. That is so true. Good morning. And so, nobody wants that, slow or fast. Sorry, I got a dog coming at me, so I'm watching. Since you got out of my way, I'll get out of your way this time. All right. But you're right, Berkeley. The health journey that we are on, it's ours. I don't know why people expect others to be responsible for their health. That's never made sense for me. I saw on Brian Sanders' Food Lies, and I think Sean Baker even put it on his page as well, this doctor in the UK who said that weight loss is a scam, trying to pursue it is fool's gold, it's just not going to be worth it. So if I have to go through all of that just to be healthy, mind you, this is a doctor, go through all that just to be healthy, then I'm just going to eat cake. And if that means I die younger, at least I die happy. What a statement. She said more, but go look at Food Lies over on Instagram or Sean Baker's page, and you'll see. But that's tough when you see a doctor saying as much. They're basically saying, I want control of my health to be in somebody else's hands because obviously I can't get it under control myself. And this is a medical doctor with all the best obesity drugs, blood sugar and insulin regulation drugs, all the everything. And the ironic thing is, well, my health isn't getting better with all the ways that I know how to make patients better, therefore nothing will work. Well, if they think eating cake and knowing that it's going to kill them sooner is the answer, why not think, all right, well, if cake is going to make me die sooner, what if I ate not cake? What if I ate steak and vegetables and other healthy foods? And at this point, even non-keto healthy, quote, healthy foods, a little bit. Things like quinoa, brown rice or whatever. I wouldn't say to stay with those things, but you would see a massive improvement over eating cake. So that was just funny to me. I feel bad because doctors are in a very strange position where they prescribe to patients who have nutrition deficiencies and who have a nutrition-related chronic disease, but they prescribe to them medications. Not medications to heal, but medications to hide the effects of the bad food. But they don't know anything about nutrition as it relates to your health, and so there's the disconnect. People are like, well, I haven't heard that eating red meat would be healthy for me. In fact, I've heard just the opposite. Yeah, because when you go to seek health information, you're seeking it from a medical profession that doesn't have any nutrition education. So big disconnect. I've got a guy coming up on my podcast. We're going to do it live on Instagram Live on Thursday at 1 p.m. McKay Rippey is his name. And we're going to dive into this topic of what's coming in the healthcare system, that what has happened up until now with sick care. He thinks it's shifting. He thinks it's going to shift over to more of a holistic, whole health, individualized, customized care for individuals, which will include nutrition. So excited to interview him and then air that on my podcast in a few weeks. Mistacious, I just about died laughing at your bit about podcasting very old. Yes, I joke about it often because I don't anticipate losing energy or passion. And if it means I'm going to be 95 years old, episode 12,347 of the Living La Vida Low Carb Show, then so be it. Who knows what the world's going to be like if I do live to 95. What's that, 45 years from now? 2066, 56, something like that. If the world doesn't end before then. Sometimes it feels like the world's going to end soon. Telling yourself that they have it easier, Brittany says, is not helping you at all. Plus, we can't really ever say that another person has it easier. We just can't know. We don't know anything about it unless we know them personally, but even then, people have private secrets. Brittany's my best friend. I'm sure I don't know everything about her. I know a lot, and vice versa. She knows a lot about me, but she may not know every little thing. And when you don't know every little thing, the last thing you want to do is assume you know every little thing. I think this is a product of where we are in our society, that they see one thing, in my case, abdominal fat, and they just assume eats donuts, slothful, lazy, unmotivated, blah, blah, blah. Not knowing how much I've put into my own education and application of that education with blood sugar control, insulin control, inflammation control, eating real whole foods, fasting, doing all the things that I do. You look at me like what happened with that ER visit the other day. I did a whole video about it. I don't want to regurgitate it, but in short, the nurse practitioner basically called me out and said, you need to really do something about your weight and your age, you're going to be in a hospital and you're going to die early if you don't get your act under control. Not knowing what I'm doing right now, not knowing that I used to weigh 400 plus pounds, 3 prescription medications, and on a one-way ticket to die 17 years ago, almost 18 years ago. He had none of that context, but he judged me all the same. So you're right, Brittany. You can't compare. Other people have it easier. We don't know their situation. You don't know, or they don't know your situation. You just got to put head down and do your journey. All right, guys, I'm coming into the home stretch. That big, long, almost straight up hill, it feels like it's coming. So when I start breathing harder, that's why. Linda says, please don't walk for 2 hours. I will feel like... No, I would warn you before I did that. Karen says, we'll be right there with you. Thank you. All right. Bevy girl, no sense to be upset, my dear. You know what you're doing, and I'm going to leave it at that. So, but that's the way it goes, my dear. You call me out on a live, I will embarrass the shit out of you because you deserve it. Sorry, not sorry. If you knew, going back to what Brittany just said, if you knew the shit that I went through and go through on a daily basis and have gone through for almost the entirety of me being online, you would be a whole hell of a lot kinder to me. And I feel like we've lost that in our society. Here I am live on a camera, deep into a starting of a journey, 27 days in, 100 days. Walking, talking to you guys, being positive, starting my week off right. And then you come in here and buzzkill it. And I don't put up with that shit anymore. Like, I tolerate it more than most. Most people would ignore you. Most people would block you. I have never blocked you, Bevy girl. I have always allowed you to have conversations, even though your mama and daddy apparently did not teach you how to talk to human beings. I was taught to respect other people, and I do, and I keep doing, because that's my nature. That's who I am as a man. But I don't tolerate getting berated on my own pages, and you can say you're speaking truth. Sweetie, you ain't telling me nothing I ain't heard before, I promise you. I have heard it all, and heard it worse than what you're sharing. I'm just encouraging you to show a lot more love, kindness, compassion, empathy. Why I feel like you've got to say the things that you said. You don't. So, and that goes for all of us. I think we could all learn to be a lot more kind to one another, a lot more loving, holding doors open for one another, encouraging and uplifting. You guys know that's what I'm about. I try to do that daily in my work, almost at the top of the hill, guys. Try to be an example of fighting through, even in the midst of adversity. There's just something about uplifting, encouraging, helping other people, not kicking them in the nuts when they're down. That never works. You just look like the asshole that you are today, Bevy girl. And I don't hate calling you out like this, because you need to hear this bluntly from somebody who cares. I want to see you be better and do better. You don't come on the live of someone and talk to me the way you talked to me. You want to send that privately? Cool. But when you publicly share that kind of stuff, I'm going to call your ass out every time. That's my job. And calling you out not to embarrass you, but to show you how asinine your comments were. So don't do that anymore. That's all I got to say. Karen says, you've helped me tremendously many years ago, and now you lit a fire in me. It was much needed. Yeah, thank you. Look, that's my goal when I wake up in the mornings in my work. I do 4 podcasts a week, you guys. 4 podcasts. That's a lot of work. But I do it because there's people that need to hear the messages. And I do it on a variety of subjects. Yes, I talk about keto and fasting and cholesterol and all the things, but I do a lot of mindset stuff with my friend Brittany. I do a lot of real talk on my show called Real Talk. I feel like I've been given a voice. Use it for good. Use it for helping people not to feel so alone, not to feel like there's no hope. I try to give hope, positivity, encouragement. That's my heart. That's what I do. And I think that should be all of us. All of us should be seeking to, how can we make other people and their life better today? Now, I realize I have a nice platform to do that, but even within your sphere of influence, it might just be your family, your friends, your coworkers, whoever you have in your life. What are you doing to make them better? What are you doing to make them feel more valued? If you haven't done anything, start. Just do something. If it means holding the door open, if it means giving a smile to someone that you see frowning. That's one of the fun ones, by the way. When I see someone frowning, I just look at them and then smile. And if they catch a glimpse of me smiling at them, they almost invariably smile. And you never know what that does for people. You never know what they're going through, that they needed your smile today. And if we're gonna make this world a better place, that's how you do it. One by one, all of us committing, how are we gonna make the lives of the people around us better today? And look, when you do that, guess what happens to you? You're not an innocent bystander in that. You get the benefits of that as well. You get that accomplishment within you of, hey, I made somebody's day today. I get that a lot when I write back to people in my DMs. They'll ask questions or feel discouraged, and I'll always leave them with an encouraging note. And they almost all say, I needed to read what you wrote to me today, Jimmy. Thank you. And it's a beautiful thing. Crossing the road again. Making sure I don't get run over again. Okay, I'm good. It's a beautiful thing when you can change someone's trajectory of their day. Maybe they're having a bad day, and along you come and leave them some sweet words of encouragement and love and respect. It's powerful, guys, if you're not doing that already. And look, all of this is a part of a health journey too. Because if you're making the people around you in your life better through your words and your actions, how can they not be anything but healthy? It's a good thing. Hope you guys try that out. It's been my life song for a little while to try to do those things. And yes, calling out somebody, throwing hate at me is a rarity. And I tried to be firm but not ugly in my comments back. Hopefully I accomplished that here today. All right, guys, I'm towards the end of my walk. My infrared sauna is beckoning my name right now. So as soon as I get done with the walk and inside my house, I will pop in the infrared sauna. And so, somebody was yelling at me, I don't know why. Oh, he said, keep going. Thank you. That was cool. Somebody said, keep it going. I don't even know who that was. Maybe he was watching the live. Hi, if that's you. I do have some people in Spartanburg that follow me. About 6 or 8 people that I know of live in Spartanburg. In fact, one of them said she wanted to come walk with me. I'm like, come walk with me. I'll put you on camera. So maybe that's why she hasn't come, because I was going to put her on camera. Thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you, Francis. Fight evil with good, says Karen. I believe in that. And I don't know that people like Bevy Girl were evil, but they definitely don't have my best interests in mind. And the problem is a lot of people like her, they don't even know they're that way. They've just always been that way, and nobody's ever called them out. So she's getting all shocked of, oh, wow, oh my gosh, can't believe. No, believe it. I'm just the first one with the kahunas to call your bitch ass out. And I don't apologize for that. Some people need that. Treat me with humanity, not like I'm just a name and a username online. I am a real human being with real feelings. Yes, I'm a little more famous than other people online, but that doesn't give people the right to say what they're gonna say. Linda said, I made it. Linda, you made it, but at the end. I'm finishing up this. I'm going into my infrared sauna next. I'm at the end of the walk. Let you see my chickies. Here's one of them. Say hi, chickie. She's digging in the ground. This time of year, they like it because the ground is softer. There's another one over there. There's another one right here. This is one of my leghorns. They have been the most consistent egg layers. And I love it because they lay the white ones. That's how I know. There's a couple more over there. But yes, I am back home. It is so cool out here. I enjoyed the walk thoroughly today, you guys. So, bullies need to be stood up to. Bulletproof Coconut, I am unafraid of any bullies or haters. I've done this too damn long to let those kind of people get me down. I walked the whole way with you. Oh, Linda, sorry, you're right. Sorry. Your comment, I made it. Yes, you made it all the way to the end. Sorry, you're right. By the way, this little space right here where I got these chairs, that's where the Morozco Forge is going to go, that ice tank. So when it arrives here, what are y'all doing? Are y'all fighting? What are y'all doing? When it arrives here in the next few weeks, that's where I will set it up. So when I go live for the first time, or when I go in it for the first time, I will go live on Instagram and let you guys see this. It's a beautiful ice tank. And it's 6 foot long. So plenty tall for Jimmy's big body. But I do love the ice baths, and we'll keep doing those more consistently when I get that Morozco Forge. But thank you guys so much for being on my walk here today. Hopefully you realize by now motivation comes from within yourself, not from somebody else. All right. Karen says, I'm so jealous. If I did that in Wisconsin, it'd be frozen long about January. Actually, yes, if you had like a body of water, you could just pop in. Yeah, and I know Maria Emmerich does that. She lives in a very, very cold place herself, and she's got a tub out back that she fills with water, and then she lets the natural elements make it cold, and she'll go in there with a bikini on in the dead of winter and get her cold thermogenesis. So yeah, by the time mine arrives, it won't be so hot outside. When it's going to be great is when it's like really hot next summer, and I can pop into it and cool off, especially after like mowing the grass or something like that, or after this walk. I'm all sweaty now from the walk, and so, or some workout. And when I start doing a lot of strength training, I will be getting in there to recover my muscles. The ice, if you ever see the pro athletes right after a game, you'll see them soaking in an ice bath because it helps them to recover so they can be ready to perform either the next day or the day after. So yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, guys, I could talk all day. Thanks for being here today. We will see you again real soon. Bye, guys.